Assalamu alaikum, Nadeem, brother Nadeem, brother Ismail, and Afroz. Right? Here I have trying to explain to you the admin console or the management panel for Qatar service on demand solution that we are proposing. What you see here is the login screen for the admin, because the admin gets login credentials as soon as the application is installed. And in this case, I'm just typing in some login information which is uh, not really verified, but that will be okay to run you through the navigation of this whole application known as admin console. So here this is there. Once you log in, you come to the profile page, you enter all the profile details, that is mainly your personal details, and then you do a submit. Once that is there, you get a clear thing saying that this is successful, and then you go into what is known as the dashboard for the admin console. I would like to tell you that admin console basically is the management console for the whole of QSOD, which manages all the services, the customers, the service providers, the status, the payments, everything is a centralized dashboard that we've given by name of admin console. Now, to start with, when we are creating a service for the uh, QSOD, that is our organization, if you're creating it, then there's an option of looking at the existing services. There is a service name, then there is a sub-service name. That means in our case we have housemaid as the primary service name, and the sub-service name would be cooking, washing, and it could be, in this case it is cooking and washing. The date is when this service was started in QSOD, and then you have an option of viewing the details of the service as well as editing, and if required, deleting the services. So at present we have existing services which we have created is housemaid, driver, commercial worker, hospitality. These were the four uh, services that we were given as a starting point. But however, this does not mean that we cannot add any services. You have an option right up here. You click on this and there is an option to say add service. In the add service, you write a name for the service. You say whether you want, as soon as it is added, to be active, or you want it to be disabled to start with and then maybe started later on. And then you have an option of getting an image downloaded from the net or from your system, whichever. You can upload one of the images for icons for the service. Next, you go to the next details of the service, that is the subservice name, the subservice status, and again the same thing as image. If you want, we can have multiple subservices. You start with one and then you can add whatever you feel like. And then you have what is known as the template format, where you can create a template for each new service. You can create a template by actually using this this, maybe you can call it a sub template of, or a super template of how to create a new form for each of the services or the sub services. Then you can have, like, you select the type of the field that you have, then you can give a name to that. You can have the, it could be a checkbox, it could be a date field, it could be a file upload, number, text field, a symbol text area that you can have, or a radio, or maybe this thing. It depends on what you want to write here, and that will give you the template for the new service that you have created. Now, Let me go back and to show you what all you can see in terms of the services. Like I said, your service you have here, you have editable options are service, subservice, and the template, related template. Whatever the template that you create here now in the first place, which will be, that will be saved here, and the same template will be displayed on the customer app when they are talking about the service request. Whatever you create template for a new service will be treated as the template for that service while the customer is filling in his requirements. So that is how we have tried to uh, manage services as is seen here. Then you have manage customers. Here you have three options. You want to view the existing customer, you want to add the add a new customer, or you can view the customer services. So let us look at view customers. So view customers means the customer details, the date that he has registered, and the email and his contact number. Of course, this thing. Then you can see the details of that person in this form, in the sense that his mobile number, his ID, his status, his address, everything is here. Then you can also add a customer from the admin console itself. So you have this, and it is similar thing like what you see in the registration of the customer through the app, where he fills in his registered number and then the profile. The same thing is added here, and so this is another way of doing it. You can also edit any customer details, you can delete any customer details. That's a part of the management console. Similarly, the third player in our service is the service provider. The service provider is basically the person who is the actually the supply chain for our service, our services. So that means he is the person who actually is going to give us the service agents who are going to execute the request put forward by the customer. So you have the service provider name, the services, the status, the date of registration, and uh, we have also, this service provider can have more than one services in his name. Like in this case, Virendra is here and Virendra is also here. So both these things are basically the service provider's thing. So he can have multiple services active for his uh, in his portfolio basically. So that is how we have added the service providers, and you will have, if you have more than one services that he is offering, some of the services may be enabled, the other one will be disabled. The ones which are highlighted are enabled ones, the ones which are grayed out would be the disabled ones. And similarly, you can have you can view the services that are there, and you can also have edit or and listing option. So this is the customer option. Similarly for service providers, similar thing is there. Service providers, view, add, delete, all those options are already there with you, and you can add another service provider, and you can have a new service provider, say Ansari. Service provider's name, this thing will be plumbing 1209 2018. Email ID. So this you can have, and this can be added because this is just a navigation UI, so that functionality is not getting done here properly, but that is how it will be done. That you add any service provider, you can edit a service provider in case the service provider wants to add more services. In case his service is main service is this, you can maybe ask him to add driver or to add commercial services or hospitality services, and accordingly he is available for the customer request for those uh, service requests. So you can have that, and then you can have you can edit it like adding more sub-services. You can edit the template if required. So no, he cannot. He can just edit the this thing that he has, the services that he has, and the actual for each service, what is his this thing, whether it will be active or inactive for this, and what is his service name, and what are the sub services and services that he is. So that is number one. Number two is then you can come to this is service providers, managed service providers. Now here we have another option where you have a full page on payment. At the moment we are not sure how payment is getting handled finally. So this is just a representative page to see these are the fields that we intend to capture. How it is going to be done will only be decided once you tell us the service provider in Qatar whom you are going to use for payment. Now we also have one option which is monitoring option, which says okay, this is the customer, this is this thing, which is the service name, what is the service status for each of the customers, how many services are running, and what is the customer service ID for each one of them. So that you can have. You have service order ID is there. This is the order number. This is the service. This the details created on this. Some description if that. What this is what the customer is going to enter once he is this detail is the detail entered by the customer for his request form. Then we have the customer name, the SP allocated to him, the agent's name, the agent's mobile number, and the location of the service, and actually how many people were required for this service. So this is pretty much what we have. Then we also have another monitoring chart for the performance of how things are actually going, which we say the activity within the QSOD. What is which month, how many active service providers are there, total number of service providers, active customers, total customers, then if you want active services. So this is something that can be enhanced in future also. Having said that, what we have seen here is just a representation of the administrative control that we are proposing for Qatar SOD. And the other thing, we have a similar thing for the SP, because SP again is a admin kind of a role where you will need to manage the services that are given to you, the agents that are given to you, the agents who are going to perform the services, the customer interactions, and the payment details, etc. So we will come to that next, but for this point we have done this and then we have an option here at any point if the person, the admin wants to log out, he can log out and then go back to the login screen. So thank you very much, and I would say that I am very happy to share these details with you.